this is essentially the most interesting game of this match. The other first two were I mulled to five, had a one land. Second game was he mulled to four, three, had a one land. So at this point now we're looking more along the lines of seeing what we can make work here. So I see a decent start. The ability for me to Arcbound Ravager dredge, Arcbound Ravager out his bridge from beyond, the bridge from below. Um, so that at least gives me an out, and I have the ability to cast that. So unfortunately for me, he gets a 0-2 blocker, which is really not going to be good news for me. So I have to kind of play around that. Of course, he now also has a Narcomoeba, which is definitely not a good thing for me. And he goes very strong turn two. This is type of turn two that you really only can have Tormod's Crypt or the new Ravenous Trap in your sideboard for this type of draw, because it's really tough to beat this as he's going off right now. He passes the turn. Now I have the ability to put a Ravager out there, which can hopefully keep me from losing next turn. At least that way I can fight off against the bridge from below. Alright, which is exactly what I intend to do. Now I can throw a Frogmite for free and an Arcbound Ravager into play as well. And I'm going to go ahead and this actually probably should have waited until he tried to actually activate it. It would have done the same thing and probably would have gotten a second one, but we'll see what he flips here. Yep. Had I waited a turn, I would have gotten two of them. He would have had no way to activate in the interim, and possibly another one. Nope, but I've pretty much now made my job a lot harder since I only have two creatures to sacrifice to stop the bridge from below, and they'll have no blockers whatsoever for that. So that's not a helpful thing for my side of the table, but this is definitely going to be a learning curve against this type of deck. So, but patience. If you're going to be playing against a dredge deck, kind of hard to balance when you should be patient and when you should just go all out. But this one, we'll see what happens. Okay, I see. And now is when I can use it anyway because it doesn't matter. I can remove it at any time with those abilities on the stack because it checks to make sure it's in the graveyard when the abilities resolve. So now he only gets the Sphinx, which is a pretty big card at this point. Great addition to the extended dredge deck for sure. See, now he gets another bridge, which had I not burned my Arcbound Worker, I would have had the second creature to sacrifice here. He's evidently trying to think, probably doing some math on what he can do and when, and how much he can dredge. So now he has enough Narcomoebas to dredge up. Yep, and here's where it's going to bite me, not getting those two bridges with one creature. possibly waiting on an opponent who's in more than one game, but we'll see. Yep, and he goes ahead and pitches those. Those all stack, and I now have to choose to get rid of my only blocker, unless I want him to be able to Flamekin Zealot out a Alpha Strike, so that's not good for me. And exactly what I was afraid of after I realized I had sacrificed it without any reason for doing so. That's going to be the game. Because I'm now out of creatures, facing down a pretty bad beating right here, and nothing in play to stop those flyers next turn. Fatal Frenzy does not help me in this case. I'm just going to go ahead and start digging, see what I can do. Maybe there's something that can maybe get back. Nope, but Master Ethereum's just not going to get there. He would be a 5/5, Fatal Frenzy to a 10/5, but still not going to get there. Not in time anyway. Because he can also Dread Return a giant beater or play pretty much anything. Luckily they don't have haste yet, but may as well. Oh, see. Yep, had I been able to buy myself a turn, I very likely could have won this with a 2020 trample or 2010 trampling guy. So, yep, one mistake is all it takes to knock you out of a game, especially against a very powerful, very fast deck like Dredge. So, and that will wrap it up because it's pretty much over at this point. I'm going to go ahead and concede here.